Now, it may take some more than a spoonful of the president's mortgage measures for the housing medicine to go down. Try a 30% decline in home prices. That's according to the author of Crash Proof, Peter Schiff. He spelled it out in an op-ed in today's New York Times, which was called Frozen Rates, Falling Prices. Peter Schiff joins us now. Peter, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Stuart.
Look, I know you think that America is basically going bankrupt and that we've spent our way to penury, but a 30% decline in home prices takes us back to the Great Depression. Make your case.
Well, remember, we had an unprecedented run-up in home prices. In many parts of the country, prices doubled and tripled. You know, where you're putting in these bids in Florida, 30% off bubble prices is no bargain. When I'm talking about 30% down, I'm talking about nationwide. So in markets like Florida, where you're trying to buy, the declines are going to be much greater than that, 50% or more. If you want to put in a low-ball bid, try 70% off.
Peter, you're talking about a return to the days of the Great Depression.
Well, no,
are you forecasting a depression?
No,
here?
I'm talking about real estate prices going back to where they were in 1999-2000. I mean, that's not the Great Depression prices. Remember, prices got bid up to these crazy levels based on lax lending standards that no longer exist. It was only because people could buy homes without using any of their own money, with no down payments, with teaser rates, with negative AM, interest only. There was a speculative mania that drove real estate prices to crazy levels, and they're still not back to normal, let alone inexpensive.
If we now reform the lending rules, like no prepayment penalties, for example, sue your lender if you can't pay your mortgage back, prove your income, those kind of reforms, if we do that, I put it to you that poor people, marginal people, are essentially aced out of the housing market for years to come.
Well, they're going to be aced out until the prices collapse, which they will do, and until they can save up a down payment. But one of the main reasons prices have to come down is because nobody can afford today's prices. They're only affordable, and I put that in quotes, because of the crazy financing terms that don't exist anymore because the lenders are getting wise because they've lost so much money.
So you discount completely the idea that this winter may be a washout. The desperation of sellers, down the prices go, but some buyers return in the spring. That's not going to happen, you say.
We are nowhere near a washout. You know, the woman that was talking about Beverly Hills real estate, if you look at California real estate, existing home prices are barely down, or they're maybe even slightly positive over the last year. I mean, new homes are down quite a bit, but people have not made the mental adjustments to the fact that their homes are not worth what they think they are. We have a long way to go down in those markets. I mean, the price declines are going to be enormous. I mean, maybe we'll start to see closer to a bottom in 2009, 2010. But the prices have to go a long way down before people can buy them for a reasonable price.
Let me get this right. You're saying that prices nationwide have to go down 30%, and in some of the previously hot, I'm going to call them bubble markets, they're going to go down 70% before we reach a rational base. Is that your point of view?
In foreclosure, certainly. I mean, maybe under normal arm's-length transactions, you might only see 50% declines. But in certain cases where developers go bust or there's lots of auctions, you can see prices down by 70% or more.
And you don't think that people with money, people with capital, people able to get loans, they're not going to come in at 30% down?
No, they just had an auction. I read about it in the newspaper last week. They auctioned off about 1,200 homes in foreclosure in Northern California. And less than 1% of the homes even sold, and they sold at 40 to 50% below the mortgage balances, but 99% of them went unbought. Nobody would even buy them at 50% off, and we're nowhere near the bottom yet.
Foreign buyers, Europeans on the East Coast, Canadians in the northern states, Asians on the West Coast, Latin Americans in the southern part of the country?
You can certainly make an argument that some of the choice vacation properties on the coasts of Florida and Hawaii and California could be attractive for vacation homes for foreigners. But I think in the near term, in the next year, foreigners are more likely to want to unload their U.S. property than buy more because they're going to realize that prices are going to fall a lot more, and the dollar is going to take another huge hit in 2008, and so that's going to impose even greater losses on foreigners who want to buy our real estate.
All right, Peter Schiff, you made your point.